Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Marvel Rivals Championship Season 1. We are in round 6. And we have already a clash of titans. Multiple podium level players across these teams. We have Legit L versus Eternity Era in the upper bracket, meaning the loser will be sent down to the lower bracket and will have to fight through there in order to make it to that final 16. The pressure is very heavily on. Legit L will be starting on the defense, Eternity Era on attack in Hall of Jalia. And we're seeing the Hela and Luna Snow getting banned out to start us off. Loki and Psylocke will be protected, with the Soldier getting removed as well, the main go-to damage dealer, which means we're probably going to see quite a bit of Psylocke between these two teams right now, and Wolverine to remove the anti-tank capabilities. This does mean that Adam Warlock has snuck through the ban phase. With Loki on the board as well, there are now some incredible healer options here, and we're going to be seeing Legit L not going for the Loki, but they are going for the full all-in on the Guardians team-up with the Adam Warlock Mantis combo, but they are running it, by the looks of it, with the Invisible Woman in order to give themselves that aerial defense for Bibiak on that Star-Lord. Whereas Eternity Era, they are looking to run this again with that Mantis and that Star-Lord and the Adam Warlock, but they are currently, this may just be for armor, hovering the rocket. But they were hovering on a Loki to begin with. So we'll see if that's what they decide to go for. For now, let us introduce our players. Excuse me while I do a quick translate. I cover a lot of teams. I do have to remind myself sometimes. We want camera. This one, please. Hardloo Road. Welcome back, Hardloo Road. They'll be playing on the Magneto. We have Repasuko playing on the Doctor Strange. Bibiak will be on the Star-Lord there. Forgot names for a second. November 24 will be on that Adam Warlock. Seung-hoon is on Mantis. And Rose fans will be playing the Invisible Woman. And on the right, on attack, setting themselves up through the portal, it will be Eternity Era with Lumi on the Loki. Rainbow Bow on Doctor Strange. ETA will be playing Adam Warlock. Alone Fills is on the Star-Lord themselves. AV7 dropping low on Mantis, but backing out. They have the cocoons if needed. And Vi will be running that Magneto. These compositions almost identical, the only difference being Rose fans on that Invisible Woman. And of course we have Lumi hovering in there on the Loki. Starting to place those illusions up onto the high ground so they can get a good angle. Crossfire. Maximum healing output. Bibiak gets absolutely popped in this fight. Will have the cocoon to revive. Hardloo Road getting dropped low as Eternity Era begin to put the pressure on. Legit L getting zoned out here. Forced back, but tanking it. Galactic Legend for Bibiak. Drops low, healed, and that gets the Soul Bond, making them essentially immortal through this fight. But there's going to be even an invisible boundary to guarantee it. Blaster Barrage. And we're seeing a lot of work being done here by Legit L. But here comes the counter for Eternity Era as they brought everyone back with the cocoons. Turning around on the fight. Bibiak, Hardloo, Seung-hoon, both down. But that's in time for November to sneak in with a Karmic Revival to bring back everyone except for Bibiak, who they cannot reach. Seung-hoon goes down into the cocoon, and November will get zoned out. They can't keep reviving people here. As the portal came in, the Eternity Era will grab point number 1. Legit L forced completely off the point here. Smashed on through Eternity Era, already setting themselves up for heavy zoning potential. A little bit of pressure. Harassment, though, has the self-shield with that magnetic barrier. Legit L, in the meantime, Hardloo Road, keeping the zone going. Karmic Revival held for NTTA. I did too many T's there. Meteor M's available for both Magnetos. And we do still have the Soul Rejuvenation for Seung-hoon. Not using it in this case. They do lose Hardloo. Here comes Aya Magamoto to try and set up stuns out the backline, both of which head into Cocoon as the Meteor M comes out. Karmic Revival dropped, as NTA is going to try and keep the push for Eternity Era going. They're all healed up to full. Vi takes out Biriak as they push on through. Seong-hoon with the Soul Rejuvenation to buy them a little bit of time, with Biriak still waiting for the respawn. Here comes the Galactic Legend. Meteor M will counter that out, but it does not finish anyone off as they get focused down to try and take out those frontliners. Diving in, Aya Magamoto into the Blaster Barrage, and it's a massacre. Biriak is now soloing. They're all that's left, and they do get taken out. And point number 2 goes over to Eternity Era as they are snowballing against legit L. The Hulk has come out. Hardlu Road giving Asuko that little bit of extra burst. Starting to push in. Make some space. No Iron Man's coming in here. They're still taking with everything else, but moving away from that Magneto to bring out the Hulk to try and empower Asuko. Give them that little bit of extra burst that they might not have already. Eternity Era continuing to push in. The Hulk's taking a little bit of pressure, but Lumi teleports away. With the Loki, November gets a sniper to Alone Fills, who will revive thanks to the Cocoon, but now they do not have that backup, that protection button. Diving in, Blaster Barrage with the Rejuvenation domain. Taking out Biriak, pushing forward. November with the Karmic Revival around the corner to try and get them back in the fight to make sure that they keep their DPS up. Back in as the Hulk, Rei Momo, setting up a portal. Asuko making sure that they can make their way onto the point as well. Trying to hold the line. Galactic Legend for Alone Fills to try and blast on through. Aya Magamoto comes out, but gets completely blocked here. Asuko is taken out. Blaster Barrage, Invisible Boundary to make sure that Legit L can try and defend through this. Biriak is so close to having their ultimate. They arrive back from spawn, but Invisible Boundary is going to expire, so they will not have the protection they might need in order to do this. Dropping the Galactic Legend to try and do the damage, to try and zone through. Slept mid-air by AV7, who takes down Asuko as well, and that is a huge protection, a huge zone, a valiant attempt at a save from Seong-hoon, but no one else can touch, and that is the triple coming in there. What an incredible first round. Eternity Era now on the defense, getting a pretty convincing triple cap versus Legit L. Again, both these teams are full of pro players who have played incredibly well in Season 0, who have gone into the invitational tournaments and performed well there. These are top-level players, and Eternity Era scoring a win of that intensity is definitely going to cause a little bit of disrest. Unrest, that's the word. In Legit L, who now have their work cut out for them to even up this map score to set us up for a overtime tiebreaker in map number 1 of this best of 3.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
We expected we were going to start to see some intense games as the tournament went on, as we started to get down to those top-level players, but meeting in round 6. Round 10, round 12, give or take, is when we start to see that final 16. We're not even there yet. We're seeing matches of this quality. One of these teams is going to the lower bracket. It's crazy to think about. We're not seeing much adjustment here. We're off the Hulk. Back onto the Magneto for Hardlu Road. Little bit of harassment coming in there. Alone Fills. Drops a touch of damage as Asuko gonna portal the team in. They're going head first. Little bit on the flank, but the main entrance point. We're using the stairs for a little bit of height adjustment. You see the harass in the backline from Biriak, but Asuko dropping extremely low here, but they're still going to try and pressure it up. Sonic Vortex doing a lot of work here. Great wraparound from Rei Momo, who does drop low, but keeps the pressure on and zones them away as Vey takes down November, giving Eternity Era the space they might need to try and hold this, to try and push back the attacking members of Legit L as they try to force the issue here. Ultimate coming in with the Soul Rejuvenation from Lumi, thanks to that God of Mischief, to try and contest it. That will force The invisible boundary out of Legit L. Momo does fall, meaning numbers is in favor of Legit L right now as Bibiak with the Galactic Legend from below being matched by Alone Fills. Shield coming out from the Magneto, forcing Bibiak to back up though as they take a little bit too much damage. Portal comes in for the reinforcement. Alone Fills, neither one able to find the ultimates and able to find any pickups here. Lumi's ultimate will expire. Karmic Revivals available, but November did fall. Not available for the revives here as Young Hood comes in with the Soul Rejuvenation, trying to allow Legit L to force the issue one more time. Meteor M to try and take them down. Hanlu gets a 7 and Vi gets Young. A7 will revive, as will Young, both coming back with the Cocoons thanks to the Karmic Revivals. Thanks to the Adam Warlock team-ups here as they try and push on through. Lumi falls. NTA does have the Cocoon to bring themselves back and could Karmic Revival their entire team here if they're able to find the angle. Momo will fall. NTA does just go for the full respawn. Not going to try the revive. They'll wait it out and rejoin with their team, which means Legit L will be taking point number 1. Eternity Era pulling back, regrouping, and setting themselves up for a future fight. Momo and Vi already clearing up a little bit at the front line here as Asuko is already far forward. Trying to take out some of the walls in the center building, make it easier for them to try and push up into it. Cluster Barrage coming out, a lot of extra damage. Here comes the clone from Lumi, once again with a Soul Rejuvenation from the Mantis to push on in, matched with the invisible boundary so that they can try and push on back. Asuko dropping extremely low as Alone Fills comes out with the Galactic Legend. Momo sets it up with an incredible Eye of Agamotto, and this is going to be Eternity Era wiping the attack here. There is 3 minutes and 35 seconds left for Eternity Era to hold as Legit L are falling one by one. Alone Fills chasing them back. Eternity Era looking insanely strong right now. Legit L, their push has been absolutely halted, but they almost have that Meteor M, almost have the Eye of Agamotto. November has the Karmic Revival, they've got Soul Rejuvenation. They can try and set this up, and Asuko starting to apply a little bit of pressure. Momo is far away from that Eye of Agamotto here. So no stun, but they will drop a quite early setup here. Meteor M will be coming out from Hanlu Row, looking for the right angle. Will just get popped. Instead, just using it to absorb damage as Young will be popping out with their own Soul Rejuvenation here. Trying to tank on through. Vi, Meteor M blocked by the shield, unable to find the target. Eye of Agamotto comes on in, only able to find the Loki, but that is just immediately blocked with that regeneration domain. And Legit L just cannot find the opening here. Alone Fills with a Galactic Legend. Karmic Revival dropped. Invisible Boundary will shut down this push. Karmic Revival and the Invisible Boundary using conjunction, maximizing the possibility of bringing back members. So everyone from Legit L is still here and in this fight. And Bibiak taken down, but they do have their ultimate, so they can back out, choose to join the fight here. Lumi up on the high ground as NTA will activate that Karmic Revival. Eye of Agamotto comes down, finishes off Asuko. Down goes Hanlu, Rose fans, and Bibiak is in full retreat right now, just misses the dash, and will get taken out before they can pick up a map peel. And Eternity Era hold again. They Karmic Revivaled for it. All Legit L have left, though, is that Galactic Legend for Bibiak. Putting on a little bit of pressure. Trying to push forward. 1 minute and 30 left. Eternity Era holding at 1 point. 47 meters. Galactic Legend coming out. Regeneration Domain shutting down the initial push, trying to take out Lumi, who will swap to make sure that they are out of danger. Bibiak getting a little bit of healing. Not able to finish anyone off with that Galactic Legend for the moment as Rose fans and Young Hood are taken down again. With the backliners picked off, we're seeing Bibiak in serious trouble. Lumi chased down, but again, tries to swap away. This time will be finished off by Hanlu. Hanlu and Asuko are desperately trying to make their way in to set their team up for this push, but they just don't find the space. Alone Fills with another Galactic Legend who try and zone out here. You can see the shots coming in from November. Cosmic Clusters for burst damage. If they can find the hits, here comes Alone Fills. Galactic Legend could be matched with the Invisible Boundary here. held on, trying to delay it. They're going to meet you M first. It gets popped almost instantly. Counter coming out. Here comes Young Hoon with the extra protection for the Soul Rejuvenation, but that's going to be a great Eye of Agamotto. The stun alone fills. Can they take them down? Momo starting out as best they can for the counter, and it's going to be legit L wiped off the board again. Eternity Era with 18 seconds left are holding beautifully. Can anyone from legit L touch it? Portal as fast as possible, but Momo just blocked alone in the spawn, meaning Asuko is going to have to go alone. They will touch the point. There's that invisible boundary to try and buy a little bit of extra time with the extra healing so they can try and hold and wait out that portal to try and touch it. Hardlu swaps to Rocket to sneak out of the spawn so they can at least get onto the point and try and keep Asuko up and in the fight. Galactic Legend comes out to try and burst down the sidelines here on the flank, doing good damage, good work, but they need to make sure they're keeping people on the point. NDTA dropped low. Bibiak trying to push on through, but gets picked off. Has Cocoon. November is on the way. They have the Karmic Revival, so if their team can hold, then they're going to be able to keep this going. But down goes Bibiak. No one else is on the point. Karmic Revival, and that's going to be game number 1, going over to Eternity Era. Swapping over to the Rocket as quick as possible just to get past the portal is a really clever idea. But unfortunately, all they were really able to do is heal up Asuko for a little bit. The rest of the team was delayed and staggered a bit too much. Vi will take the MVP as Eternity Era goes 1-0 up in this best-of-3 series. Let's have a look at those statistics. These teams a little bit evenly matched, but it's not looking that way if you look at the eliminations. 46 eliminations for Vi. 16 of which were final hits. Only being beaten out there by Momo and Alone Phils, who got 17 and 18 final hits respectively. Vi only getting taken out once. A huge difference compared to basically anyone else in the game. Top damage. Close. Bibiak almost keeping up there, but just falling behind of Momo, who gets 200 more damage done, but it's going to be Alone Phils with 32k damage, who is able to claim that. 6k more than Bibiak and Momo. Doing huge work for their team. Asuko trying to absorb the damage, trying to tank on through. 57k damage blocked, but they did get eliminated 10 times. Weren't able to just absorb the damage. You compare that to Momo, 41k. Yeah, they absorbed 16k less damage, but they also got taken out a third of the amount of times. It's a pretty big difference. And then you look at Vi, absorbed 38k damage, 1k less than Hardlu Road, but Hardlu Road got taken out literally 10 times the amount of times. Top healing. 21k, being beaten out by 28k, being beaten out by 42k by Rose fans. Doing massive work for the team. 8k damage as well, just under 9. Not half bad, trying to keep up there. Doing some good work for their team. 19k damage blocked as well, utilizing that shield well. And yeah, 42k damage is mental. Doing huge work for the team there. But that is game number 1 of this best-of-3 series, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get ourselves set up for map number 2. Quick reminder that subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing the video all help this channel grow. I'm just under 5,000 subs at the time of recording. We're at 4,800 and something right now, so we're almost there. So hitting that subscribe button and ringing that bell is incredibly appreciated to help continue this growing. Because again, I only really do this for fun. I get AdSense and I appreciate donations whenever possible because it helps me keep doing it. It really is appreciated. And obviously, affording groceries is harder and harder these days. So being able to get that support from y'all just by watching the video, if you got YouTube Premium or AdBlock turned off, is huge. The donations with the YouTube thanks, and of course the subscriptions with the memberships is huge to help me keep doing this. So make sure that you support if you can. Otherwise, just watching the video, liking and commenting is completely free, and it does help a lot. The algorithm really likes engagement. But for now, let's get ourselves set up for map number 2 of this best-of-3 series. 3 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 series. 3
Got a switch in my head, I go from living to dead. You got me seeing all red, now I'm becoming a threat. I fucking heard what you said, I'll make you have some regrets. And no, I never forget, so now you have a few debts. That shit, it needs to be paid with blood or some sort of pain. You caused a permanent stain, which has determined your fate. I've never seen so clear, I feel the end and it's near. The day of reckoning's here, the sound of deafening fear. My energy is next level, so damn you better be careful. I got an angel and devil, he snaps me straight in the temple. I'm ready to be a rebel, I've got a lot of potential hidden inside of this vessel. That shit is so exponential. I need a first class ticket to the top, no limit. I don't play no gimmicks, I'ma take you to the clinic. If you want a taste, come at me and you will be replaced. They won't find a trace of you anywhere.
And we are back for map number 2. Eternity Era. On the left, 1-0 up. Legit L on the right. Looking for revenge as we are heading to Shin Shibuya, a convergence game. Turning on my aircon for a moment. It is warm with all this equipment on. Starting off, Luna Snow will be the first character removed here, along with Loki. Hela protected this time. Banned out last time. This time will be locked in. What do we see as the next protection? Winter Soldier was banned out last time. Could we see that come in? Do they want to continue down the line of the Star-Lord? Doing huge work last time. Alone Fills. They protect it anyway, even though legit L. They did struggle a little bit into a Lone Fill Star-Lord. They're still going to protect it. Let it ride. Now, if we look at what they might be going for here with Hela and Star-Lord, they're definitely going to be wanting stuff like the Adam Warlock to potentially come in. Loki already being banned out. So we don't have to worry too much about that here. Mantis could be pretty huge as a ban. They're going to take out Psylocke. They don't want the flanks if Hela's in play.
The right heroes could make all the difference.
Psylocke, a character who's actually fallen out of favor pretty hard here. And it's so interesting to see compared to Europe, for example, how little we're seeing the more popping up. But with Luna Snow getting banned out, that's going to be a big reason why we're seeing that picked up less. Interesting. Adam Warlock showing up in a non-3 support setup. Oh, never mind. We are going to see that triple strategist setup here as AV7 moving over to the strategists for the healing here. Sorry, to the DPS. Alone Fills. Not going with that Star-Lord is currently on the Mantis. A little indecisive, trying to work out what the team is going to rock in with. Throwing in the armor, the Rocket Raccoon. Lumi going to be bringing that in. Legit L, they have basically decided that the exact same composition will work this time. Eternity Era, they are doing similar, but they are going to be bringing out the Hela instead of the Star-Lord. Hela's very good against Star-Lord, hit scan damage. Good burst, the ability to try and take people out, and combined with Mantis, Hela is terrifying. That damage boost can be so tough to deal with. Asuko, not going for a portal to start us off here. Ray Momo not going for any counter portals, so they're not worrying about that. Pushing in as the front line, the main Vanguard. I don't know what they did last season, but whatever they've done to like try and fix the little stutters we're getting, or at least make them less bad at the start of games when we cast Asia, they've done a great job. Shout out to the devs. It's appreciated. We see you. Soul Bond from November as they're getting dropped a little bit low. The aerial attacks from the rooftops make it a little bit harder for them to push up. Cosmic Cluster doing good damage. AV7 sends in the shots, pulled in with the force push there as A7 turns onto the backline members, trying to get onto Seong-hoon, who is sidestepping like their life depends on it, because it does. But they do a great job. Fantastic sleep. Alone Fills goes down. AV7 goes down. Lumi poking away, not even halfway towards that revive. Alone Fills will revive thanks to the cocoon, but the rest of the team is starting to fall. Ray Momo goes down. AV7 respawns at the base, meaning they will not be here in time as Legit L are going to clean up this time, and they will take control of the first point. Activating the car. Spider Zero will be on the way. Lumi charging up Cosmic Clusters, seeing if they can catch anyone as they make their way in. November doing the same from the high ground. The damage output of Adam Warlock can be absolutely huge if you can land it. And of course, those cocoons make it so sticky for your team to stay on the point. So hard to remove. Here comes the Galactic Legend, Meteor M from Vitho to try and tank through it. And we will see the fall. Bibiak taken out. Legit L wiped off the board here. Eternity Era smashing through them here, and Alone Fills is absolutely popping off right now. Madness is one of the higher damage strategists in the game along with Adam. The two together doing huge work. Healing up, damage boost. Aya Magamoto in the hallway, blocked with the shield, preventing the value. Counter coming down as Seong-hoon comes down with the soul rejuvenation, matching Alone Fills. Trying to push on in. AV7, if they can wait this out, then it's going to be a good opportunity for the Goddess of Death. With the majority of the support ultimates out the way, they're going to activate it, taking huge damage, popped out immediately as Hanlu Road yeets out the Meteor M down into the backline, but it's going to be tagged by Lumi, who drops that soul bond to try and keep the team up. Here comes the Karmic Revival to bring the team back into the fight. But they're getting taken out one by one. Ray Momo finished off a second time. The respawn is being guarded. Asko takes out Lumi, and Legit L are snowballing so hard right now. Asko chasing them down. Eternity Era getting forced back. Mantis, Alone Fills, sent into the cocoon. Going to try and back up and rejoin their team by the looks of it. Will be rejoining their team. Bibiak almost at ultimate level, trying to keep this push going. Plus the barrage, but has that Galactic Legend at the ready, has a soul bond. So now they have that extra protection up to the high ground, immediately invisible boundary to shut it down. Meteor M sidestepped here. Vi unable to find the pickup, but that is once again going to be Bibiak's ultimate shut down completely by the Invisible Woman. AV7 getting rushed down here. Bibiak playing super aggro. Getting some shields from the Magneto to give them the space they need to try and make their way in. November gets the pickup onto Lumi, pushing on in. Aya Magamoto comes out from Ray Momo. Alone Fills with a soul rejuvenation to help them push in. Meteor M finds no one. Seong-hoon keeping their team up, tanking through here. They're not able to get the pickup. AV7 is continuing to try and grab someone, but they've lost Ray Momo. They've lost AV7. Lumi is going to go down here, getting around the corner. They may actually get out. But that's point number 2. Walking in slow but steady for Legit L as they grab second point and begin their push towards that triple cap. Legit L need this. A triple cap would guarantee them at minimum a tiebreaker in this second map, allowing them to try and take the fight a little bit better in their favor. Also, shout out to the Gems for fixing that building. That bridge did break sometimes in the replays. I respect the work. Lumi keeping the healing going, trying to keep the team topped up. Cosmic Clusters into the backline. November matching the same. Members starting to drop a little bit low, but they're still getting healed up. Hardlu dropping low as Bibiak comes in once again. Galactic Legend shut down by the invisible boundary, and as such we'll see Hardlu get dropped here. AV7 continuing to keep the pressure on November with a Karmic Revival here in the backline right in front of the spawn. But they want to keep this pressure on. They want to try and punish the enemies for extending far forward. There comes Mimiak into the front line with the help of that Blaster Barrage, with the shield. Meteor M with the Eye of Agamotto to try and set up. Sniping alone Fills, but November goes down. Lumi picked off. AB7 takes to the sky. And this time, they do not have as many members to take him down, so they get quite a few shots off. Has to use the escape here to get out of there. Rose fans with their own invisible boundary, keeping the team sustained this time. Doing good work with no Loki on the board. They bring out the Invisible Woman off their own to keep this counter push up. Lumi does have Karmic Revival here, but they seem to be saving it for the final push here. Asuko is portaling the doors, so if their team can get the push going, then they're in serious trouble. Eternity Era, is anyone trapped? Yes, they are. 2 members are trapped. Lone Fills currently slept, taken down. Legit L pushing in. They've bought themselves some time. Karmic Revival from Lumi to bring the team back into the fight. Huge damage onto Rip Asuko to try and turn this round, to try and hold this defense. But they have very little else left in terms of ultimates. They're about to have a visible boundary, which will buy them a little bit of extra time. But Bimiak is finally about to buy that time. It's going to force that invisible boundary out. They would love to see if they can get it activated first. If someone else can force the issue, then this could be the game-ending push. Here it is. There's the invisible boundary, matched perfectly every single time. But finding them on the flank alone Fills and A7, they went away from the team and they are punished for it. And Legit L finally finding the angles they need. NTA goes down, Lumi goes down. I have a moment to buy a little bit of extra time. Meteor M's traded out here, and we're going to see the fall of Raymomo. Vi, AV7 will return. They do have that Goddess of Death, has to use it as they get dropped low. Is this going to be enough? Their body is not on the point, popped down, which will actually delay the card a little bit here. Invisible boundary coming out from Legit L with the Eye of Agamotto, and Alone Fills cannot heal through that. Vi on the Venom to try and make their way in to buy a little bit of extra time. Frenzied Arrival. They have that symbiotic resistance to try and buy the time, activating it at the just nick of time, but the tankiness isn't enough, and Legit L take the triple cap. Legit L needed that so badly. In a best of 3, they were 1 map away from getting sent down to the lower bracket. So getting that triple cap this early is huge for them, meaning that they can now guaranteed get a tie, forcing themselves into that overtime on map number 2. It doesn't matter if Eternity Hero get the triple. Legit L have given themselves another lifeline here. And lifelines is what they need right now. The team sticking with the mirror match, as Alone Fills is going to move over to the Star-Lord, and AV7 moves off of the Hela and onto the Mantis. It's GA going to heal up, going to get the team that little bit of pre-armor with the Rockets Packed Lunch. Giving themselves that little bit of extra protection as they begin their assault. Legit L not really able to match that due to the fact that they have to roll out to make their way here in time. Now Legit L, all they've got to do is to stop them before the triple cap. And even if they don't, they have another chance. Best case scenario for Legit L here.
3, 2, 1.
Asuko, a little bit of harassment, not going for any portal blocks or anything, just going to do a little bit of annoyance. Raymomo also not portaling them in, going to choose the head on assault. And once again, the aerial damage, making it a little bit difficult for them to step on in. Bibiak gets dropped low, as does AV7, trying to keep the team topped up in this early push. Soulbond allowing Asuko to try and make their way in. Getting pulled in with the force push, but that's going to step them onto the point, trying to fight on through. Neither team is finding a great angle at this early stage. Blaster Barrage from Alone Fills. They did such a good job in map number 1. They're trying to bring it back in this map number 2 as they move on to the DPS for the first time here. Hardloo Road, focus down, taken out. As Vi takes them down. In exchange though, Raymomo did fall. Soul Rejuvenation coming out from AV7 as they push on in, doing good damage. Asuko dropping low. Seung Hoon will drop their own Soul Rejuvenation here to try and get the counter push. Lumi will be sent into Cocoon. Portal comes out from Raymomo so they can get back onto the point. Aya Agamotto will come out. Invisible Boundary is dropped, but it does not matter. Bibiak with the Star-Lord here doing huge damage, forcing them back into spawn through the portal. And Legit L are holding this very nicely. Portal goes down. Legit L with the hold. Aya Agamotto, Galactic Legend, Meteor M, Karmic Revival. All of these tools are at the ready though for Eternity Era if they want to try and get themselves that first point. Dive up to the high ground for Alone Fills. They enter into the battle with Bibiak, who is able to avoid the first initial engages the Karmic Revival from November to try and keep their team fighting. Down goes Bibiak, but they're not in range to be revived, but they have Cocoon. Meteor M blocks a little bit of the damage, but they're still taken out. Lumi trying to push on in, will get dropped. They have their own Karmic Revival here. Meteor M not even needed here as the Eye of Agamotto locks down everyone inside the building. And that is going to be Eternity Era wiping Legit L. And they will get point number 1. Eternity Era going to be looking for the draw here to force that overtime. Because if so, they can end this in map number 2 and not have to worry about map number 3. By doing some really good damage. They've pushed up exceptionally aggressive here. And CA gets punished for overextending. AV7 backing up, shielded by Magneto, trying to keep the team top. Has the Soul Rejuvenation, holding on to that. Would prefer to wait as in comes Blaster Barrage. Bibiak shielded by Magneto, but they will go down. Meteor M for Vi, set up with the Soul Rejuvenation from Mantis, blocked beautifully by Hanlu Road, who's trying to hold the front line. Soul Rejuvenation from Seong Hood to make sure that they can protect their team with that Mantis for the extra healing, which opens up the opportunity for Asuko to drop that Eye of Agamotto once we see the end of this. Invisible Boundary going to drop it during the Invisible Boundary, in fact, to stun them out. Rose fans with their own Invisible Boundary now, allowing Legit L to push on in. And we're seeing Eternity Era get absolutely melted here. Bibiak, November, Hanlu grabbing everyone across that fight. Lumi got a revive midway through it, and it did not work out. They got cleaned up here. Eternity Era's push put to a stop. November about to have Karmic Revival at the ready. And Meteor M already nearly back. But Raymomo has their own Eye of Agamotto just around the corner here. The opportunity for them to engage, set up for Alone Fills with that Galactic Legend. And right now, there's no Invisible Boundary for Legit L, so this will be the perfect opportunity for Eternity Era to try and make the play. Here comes the Galactic Legend to try and get some of the damage out, to try and set up. They're trying to melt through without these support ultimates. Can they stop them? The damage output is good, but they don't find anyone. Meteor M is going to come in, not finds any pickup here. Meteor M for Vi on the counter to try and give themselves a push. Breaks the shield of Asuko. Not enough to get the finishing blow, and now it is Vi who's in serious trouble, but they will get healed up nicely. Raymomo, they now have the opportunity, but a lot of these healing ultimates are at the ready. Here comes the Soul Rejuvenation, nice and early. Time it. Eye of Agamotto's traded. Both teams getting stunned down, but it's Legit L who takes the bigger blow. And Raymomo keeps this push of Eternity Era going, but November gets a Karmic Revival. They go down, but they have Cocoon to bring themselves back into this fight, which brings back Bibiak. Seong Hood has already been revived. They cannot be revived again, but they're still going to keep it going. Bibiak with the Galactic Legend to try and push on in to take out the attackers with 1 minute 30 left. Alone Fills, Lumi both fall. Chasing them down, diving in with the Blaster Barrage. Even without the Magneto Magnetic Barrier, they're still going to try and take the duel. They just sacrifice themselves here with the Cocoon as they keep the pressure on. Blaster Barrage focused down, likely to fall here. Getting out, getting into cover, and the cart has been stopped. Down goes AV7 on the Mantis. Alone Fills has the Galactic Legend, but they will be chased down all the way to spawn. 1 minute remaining. Portal at the ready, but being pressured. Raymomo not having the time to activate it yet, and probably going to be saving it for the one last push if they get one. Trying to hold the line. giving their team the best chance they have to step onto the point. No Ayavagamotos are available. Meteor M's across both teams. Eternity Era have far more ultimates here. Alone Phil's coming in with the Galactic Legend, trying to take down the backline. It's going to be Hardlu taken out by Vi. Alone Phil gets Rosefan and is doing huge work in the backline. Asuko falls, and the defenses of Legit L are melting across the board here. November falls before the Karmic Revival, and point number 2 with 19 seconds left is grabbed by Eternity Era.
Keep up the momentum.
Bibiak's in the backline. They know they'll likely fall here. They're just going to get themselves picked off, rejoin their team, cause a little bit of harassment. Alone Fails to be playing up, though, with the numbers advantage. They know they can be a little riskier. Piling on the pressure. Blaster Barrage with the shield from Magneto. Maximum damage. Backing up. Force pull. Nearly sends them to their doom, but Alone Phil's still going to be pushing in. Ayavagamoto going to be coming out with the invisible boundary to counter out, but Legit L have already been wiped off the board here. Karmic Revival, November comes back with Cocoon, brings the team back to try and hold this. 1 minute to go for Eternity Era to get that 3 points to match up with Legit L, who are doing everything they can to try and hold this. Galactic Legend chasing through the hallway with the invisible boundary to protect them. There is now 45 seconds left for Eternity Era to get back to that car and push it in the rest of the way. But Legit L, they burned everything for that. Meteorum's on the way, as is that Ayavagamoto. But we already have Eternity Era. Soul Rejuvenation, Galactic Legend, Meteor M just about to come back in here. They're going to walk in. Don't want to risk the portal yet. They could save it for an overtime. Alone Phil's off to the side. Trying to get onto Bibiak, who's retreating here. Big damage onto the Magneto, force out the defensive abilities, taking a lot of damage. Alone Phil's needs to be up in this fight. Meteor M from Vi takes out Seung-Hoon in the back down. Hanlu unable to find the counter as Alone Phil's gets one into the backline, trying to look for the strategist. Huge damage on by Rose fans, takes them down, chases them, splits the team. Now is behind the Lumi there, behind November to get the extra damage, trying to push on in. Hulk swapping in to try and get onto the point quicker. Hanlu rushing in. They're going to try and rush it. Asuko is on the point. Ray Momo could try and portal the entrances here. Portal is on cooldown. Won't be available. A7 with the Soul Rejuvenation. Ayavagamoto's going to be coming out. Only stuns out Lumi, who is protected with the healing from AV7. Trying to hold it through. Seung-Hoon will be the first to fall in November. Immediately Karmic Revivals. Maximizing members. But that's an invisible boundary on the objective to try and keep this push going for Eternity Era. Ayavagamoto at the ready. Dropped in from above. Stuns out Rose fans. Takes them down. November immediately falls as well. But they do have the Cocoon to bring themselves back into the fight as Bibiak sends out the Galactic Legend to try and turn this round. To take out the attacking members of Eternity Era. Pushing on through. Karmic Revival onto Lumi. Prevents more revives. Charging through. Bibiak on the defense is dueling into Alone. Will take them down. It's just Ray Momo left. They will fall. The Cocoon revive is just too slow. And Legit L hold. And we are heading to a map number 3. What a matchup, Bibiak. Going to be grabbing the MVP for their team there. As the score evens up 1-1. Eternity Era unable to push in the rest of the way. Have a look at these statistics. Bibiak, 53 eliminations, 29 of which were final hits. Insane. Also insane, Rip Asuko only getting taken out 5 times. 41 eliminations, 5 times getting eliminated, 11 final hits, 32k damage. Only 2k, yes, than the 29 final hit Bibiak. Doing huge work there. Equaling out with Ray Momo, though. As both gave everything there, all there. That was a intense bare-knuckle brawl of a battle between these two teams. Damage blocked. 61k normally would be enough to top the board, but 72k for Rip Asuko. getting one of the highest damage outputs, one of the highest damage blocked outputs. Asuko did huge work for their team there. Setting up magnificently. Strategists, we are seeing the Invisible Woman's performing incredibly well here. 42k and 46k. Rose fans going to be bringing it home. This one, you normally see the team that lost the game getting some like better healing or like better tanking stats, but this time it is different. Literally, Legit L outstatted their opponent's Eternity Era in basically every way. They got eliminated less, they got more eliminations, they did more damage, they took more damage, they healed more. Overall, this game, Legit L just outperformed Eternity Era, evening up the score to 1-1. Who is going to emerge victorious in this best of 3 series? We're going to have to find out as we're going to head to a quick break. And when we come back, it'll be map number 3 in this round 6 Marvel Rivals Championship game.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
And we are back for round number 3, ladies and gentlemen. It is Legit L on the left this time, Eternity Era on the right. The score is 1-1, and we are heading to Royal Palace, our first domination map between these two teams. And yep, it's deserved now. The teams are done with this. Eternity Era blink first, and they take out Star-Lord. Peter Quill will be sent to the Shadow Realm. Legit L, they will take out the Loki. A little bit scared of how that went last time. What is the first protection? Last time it was Hela, and they didn't really get played. Luna Snow on the board, opening up the possibility for a Namor. They're currently hovering in Iron Fist, which a lot of people seem to forget does actually have a team-up that actually benefits Luna Snow instead of a damage dealer. We're going to see Hela gets protected, and Namor, with Luna Snow on the board, gets taken out. Damage output just a little too scary to deal with. Bibiak is currently hovering Scarlet Witch. I don't think we'll see that. And Wolverine will get taken away. But I guess if Wolverine's taken away, then percentage damage characters are a little harder to come by. Iron Fist, Scarlet Witch, they do have a little bit of percentage damage if they do want to try and take out big, hefty frontliners. Eternity Era, they're going with a pretty safe composition here. Mantis returning once again. Vi going to be playing it this time with Lumi moving over to the Magneto. Looks like it's going to stick with the 2 highest priority strategists right now. We're going to see Luna Snow and the Invisible Woman for Eternity Era. Legit L still yet to decide, but it looks like they are going with a triple strategist composition here, sticking with that Adam Warlock's composition, bringing out the Mantis of their own, and they will go with Luna Snow instead of the Invisible Woman. Hanlu Road dropping out the Magneto. Ribasuko sticking with that Doctor Strange. Teams very similar here. Difference is Legit L go for the triple strategist. Rose fans currently just giving their team that armor as we would expect. Exactly the same for Ray Momo on their team. pre-armoring up the team. But it's going to be triple strategist versus double strategist. This Eternity era, they choose to trust in AV7 on the Hella to really assist alone fills on that Winter Soldier. Whereas Legit L, they are putting all of their eggs in the basket of Bibiak on their own Winter Soldier. Tainted Shock coming in. It's sustain versus damage. Let's see who comes out on top. Bibiak sustaining through Portal was used to get the team into this aggressive position. Soulbond allowing them to push up a little bit more. Tainted Shocks coming in. Ray Momo dropping low, has the shield from Magneto, but getting focused down here. Drop low, 28, somehow not getting healed or damaged, but will get finished off, as does Alone Fills here, as Bibiak will get picked off on the side. AV7 is being a menace right now. Finally going to get charged down by a Strange up to the high ground. Focused down and picked off by Rose fans. Legit L will take first control of the point. November, Cosmic Clusters charging up to see if anyone steps on in. Good shots, good damage coming out. Charge up, shots in, good damage from November, really utilizing the fact that they have this maximum range poke. Bionic Hook was utilized to try and get Ray Momo out of position. November does fall though, as AV7 continues to keep the pressure on. November revives with a Cocoon. Lumi is taken onto the front line. Reminder, they are swapping over from the front line. Vi has been tanking the majority of these games and is now bringing out that Lunar Snow, matching it out with Sioga Hood. November did use that Karmic Revival, but it is bugged on our overlay. Aya Magamoto into the backline, trying to take out Entity A, which they will get. Meteor M for Lumi to try and get onto the backline. Weakens out Bibiak, but Bibiak tags on through. Here comes Bibiak, Kraken Impact onto the Madness, but they tag on through with that Soul Rejuvenation. Slept and immediately woken up. Bionic Hook blocked by the shield of Magneto, and the ultimate does go off. No resets here for Bibiak, as they are forced to back up. An Eternity era are trying to claim the point. Soldier's Fist and the melee from Bibiak to guarantee the pickup. And slow but steady, they retreated strategically and then dived back in. AV7 and Lumi taken out, and the point is still held by Legit L. Eternity era can't find an opening. They have Karmic Revival though. That's all they have ultimate-wise, but it's more than Legit L have. It's Eternity era's time to try and push on in to make something happen. But they've got to step up. They've got to start making their way in. Ray Momo taking a little bit of damage, pushing on in. Hardlu trying to absorb the damage, tanking through, forced off the point temporarily, will get healed up. Mantis healing, little slow, but it will work out as Asuko is about to get that Eye of Agamotto. It's off cooldown. Karmic Revival from Entity 8, allowing it to push on in, but Asuko is deep in there, and Bibiak resets them off the point with the Kraken Impact, and point number 1 is seized. Legit L taking control over Eternity era, keeping their momentum from the previous game alive as they keep this push going as we head to Throne Room. Legit L now 1 win away from heading on in this upper bracket and sending Eternity era down to the lower bracket. Both teams with the Rockets packed lunch here. Bibiak giving their team the armor as they are the one who's getting the majority of the healing into TTA. Keep throwing in extra T's. They're going to be the one armoring up their team. Reminder as to how this works. Excuse me for that. Reminder as to how this works. Even if Rocket swaps, you can see that the armor they have given from that BRB persists after they swap characters, making it incredibly valuable. If you are in one of the Dawn entrances, there's very little reason for someone not to be Rocket. Give your team some armor and then swap off. Portal coming out. Both teams up to the high ground to battle on the throne. Meteor M with the shielding, but they tag on through thanks to the Soul Bond. November charged up, wrapping around the portal. Huge damage behind onto AV7. Alone Phils, sorry. Ayamagamoto comes down. Alone Phils drops low. And that's not enough healing from Vi, who tried to turn that round. Meteor M to come on in November. Still bugged in the ultimate here. Meteor M takes out Vi. Lumi goes down. And Legit L takes control again. Alone Phils the first to fall on their way back. Will wait out a little bit here once they get a little bit further in so their team can join them. They don't get picked off. Point claimed by Legit L. That's Alone Phils. Trying to make their way in. Trying to find the opening. Legit L defending up on the high ground here. Not choosing to defend on the objective. They defend the high ground first. It's the more advantageous position. Here comes the Kraken impact from Alone Phils. Can they find a reset here? Doing a lot of damage, but no resets are to be found. Here comes the Soul Rejuvenation, but November was taken out. Does have the Cocoon, so they can bring themselves back into this fight, which they will do. Cocooning their way back in. Kraken impact from Bibiak now to Magic. It's resets number 1, 2, 3, and it's Legit L smashing through Eternity Era. They have full control right now.
Keep going.
Taking out the Sphere. And Eternity Era are in so much trouble. They don't have Portal, and that objective is already up to 61%. Asuko has that Eye of Agamotto. Raymomo almost has theirs. But Legit L have this top area locked down. Eternity Era just can't make their way in, but now is their chance. Eye of Agamotto and Kraken impact at the ready, but it's going to be Asuko who pulls the trigger first, weakening them down, but it's going to be protected from Vi. Raymomo jumps in, gets the stun, but there's not enough follow-up here. Alone Phils trying to wait out these strategist ultimates to try and get the team back into it. Meteor M takes out Vi, though, as Alone Phils will be coming in with the Kraken impact. Does not find the reset, though. Alone Phils taken out by Seong Hun. Will go down, though, but revived at the Karmic Revival from November at 99. 100 Legit L. They just went through the most Dragon Ball Z power scaling I think I've ever seen. From losing pretty convincingly to doing a really solid win, all the way up to an absolute dominant performance. That is some scaling. And with that, Legit L move on in the upper bracket, and Eternity Era will be sent down to fight for their tournament lives in the lower bracket. They're still in, but they're going to have to battle their way through to those finals now. A rough path to take. MVP, RIP Asuko. 28 eliminations, 11 final hits. Bibiak, 27 eliminations, 14 final hits. Doing huge work there. On the other side, AV7 did keep up quite well. 6 final hits, 9 eliminations. Not enough to even keep up with Hanlu, though. Lumi, 5 final hits, 7 eliminations. And Alone Phils, they just weren't able to get any of the eliminations on the board there. 3 eliminations, 0 of which were final hits, getting taken out 7 times, compared to Hanlu Road, Rosefan, and Asuko, who only got taken out once. Doing huge work for the team here. Top damage, it's pretty close, but it is going to be by 400. Asuko beating out Bibiak. Top damage absorbed. Also, going to be Asuko, showing why they got MVP here. Beating out by 3k Raymomo and Lumi. Hanlu Road actually 3k behind them, not absorbing as much damage this time. And top healing, 22k Rose fans. Showing why they get the chance to play that Luna Snow White's banned out so often. And absolutely popping off that time. Getting 5 final hits of their own even. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen. A victory is claimed by Legit L. They will move on in the upper bracket, sending Eternity Era down to the lower bracket. They're not out yet. We'll keep an eye on them, see if they can keep making it through. But that is it for today's games, ladies and gentlemen. The bracket continues. And we are going to be doing a couple round 6 games, as that's what we are up to right now. Next week, I believe it's going to be 7, 8, 9, and then we get 10, 11, and 12, and then we get the actual, like, up the full-on bracket stuff. If my brain is correct, it's about 3 every week, give or take. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have all enjoyed. If you have, reminder, like, comment, subscribe, do all those things. Become a member like John if you want to. Support the channel. And get the videos early and your name shouted out. Thank you all very much for watching. I have been your caster, Tetcher, and I will see you all tomorrow.